stronger, and Fire Flux. We'll see if they can handle it. You know.
We are jumping into
right
the
into
draft already. I love this so much right now. I thought we were going to sit here for at least another 10 minutes, but no, here we go, jumping in the draft. And now that we're in the draft, we'll talk about what we're going to see. And RQ Hoshi already kind of switching up from some of the norm that we've seen in the past. They're banning out the Barats immediately, which I like it. Guinevere coming from the side of Fireflux. We were looking at some of the stats before we started the stream, G, and Guinevere is definitely, I mean, one of the top win rates with the amount of picks Guinevere has. Yes, there are other heroes with better win rates, but Guinevere has been picked around 25 times or more and still holds a 72-73% win rate in playoffs. I wasn't looking at the group stage at the stats, but in playoffs so far, Guinevere is one of the most picked heroes with a very high win rate.
Yeah, Guinevere's just shown that she's a star player at this point, and most of the time, if it's not banned out in the first phase, the first pick team always picks it. It normally used to be utilities, but as the tournaments went on past group stages into the playoffs, it's definitely shown itself as a viable pick for the first one. RRQ now responding with the R lot. I like it. I mean, we're seeing RRQ get rid of a lot of utility heroes, and Fireflux kind of responding with the Matilda. So there's a couple things they could possibly go for here. I mean, we still have Joy on the field. Joy's been like banned quite a bit, so maybe that's a hero that they want to maybe bait out. I mean, Navaria, there's so many great picks right now. It could either be banned or picked. Ruby still on the field. I think it just goes to show that they're ready for anything.
But I think also, you know, things do slightly differ depending on the teams. Things do kind of change it up. And Fireflux, I'm kind of surprised by the Barats ban here. I'm wondering, because we haven't seen Fireflux really like favor into this. They have picked up some utility junglers, but still it kind of makes me think that maybe RQ wants to put a rat on something a little bit faster moving. Maybe go for something like the Nolan if Fireflux doesn't ban this out. Maybe go for something like the Lancelot for a rat. We know a rat likes to pick up those assassin picks. He's not scared to be on something quick moving. It's something that a lot of fans around the world got to know him for. He is probably one of the best Lancelots in the world, point blank, period. I mean, so just seeing some of those more bulky heroes banned out, something that can bully me if I pick something squishier like that, it could kind of be tilting the hand to Fireflux and what RQ Hoshi's trying to go for here.
True. And RQ, it just, to me, seems like they're just banning out a lot of utility. They just don't want to deal with those heroes that can really make plays and control the field. The Nathan getting out of there, if I'm not mistaken, that was utilized to beat AP Bryn. So Fireflux looking to kind of, you know, get rid of it. First pick coming up. I mean, we got a lot. I mean, they could first pick Joy. They could go a little wild. They could go dashy. I mean, that's what the Brats would kind of slow down, but they're going to pick up the Minnow first.
Well, I think either way they get the trade, like either way. So my original thought was, yeah, like Nolan, Joy, right? But they don't have to pick up both, because either way they get the trade. Now, I highly doubt Fireflux is going to pick up Nolan and Joy here. They pick up the Novaria, and then my guess is they either go for the Nolan or Joy, or they could wait as well and just wait for the trade. Because either way, either team can kind of hold off on that, because if the other team picks one, they can still get one for themselves, unless neither come on the field.
Yeah, that's why the meta is so wild right now. There's so many good picks. It's just a matter of you utilizing them with certain comps. So, I mean, we could see RQ possibly pull out a Benedetta, maybe pull another, just go straight the same draft as AP Bryn against when they faced him. I mean, we'll see. I still do like the Nolan pick. I mean, you could go very assassin-y. That you'll be able to actually probably catch the Navaria at that point. There's the Benedetta. I was thinking they were going to run it back.
Either one. Yeah, but they don't go for either one. Are they trying to bait Fireflux into it right here? Is it like, listen, we want you to, it's like, just pick the Joy or Nolan here, man. Just pick it, because they have some sort of answer to it ready. I'm really surprised because Irad had a monstrous Joy in group stage. I mean, like, I forget who they were going up against, but it was just insane the amount of damage Irad was doing even in the early game. So I'm really surprised it's not what they're going for. Again, could be the old wait and bait. They might have a plan ready to go. CC going to get picked up by Alien in the EXP. We saw Alien, even after taking a couple deaths against Blacklist, still be able to scale very well in this CC.
Yeah, I mean, RQ seems to be not playing around this time around. So, I mean, they're going gung-ho. And I mean, Fireflux doing exactly the same thing. I mean, they have the poke, the peel. They have a little bit of setting, but to be honest, like right now, I'm more into RRQ's draft than Fireflux. They do have a couple key picks, which the last 2 picks could be the make it or break it for the team comp. But again, there's so much open. Right now, they need to start targeting the gold lane. I mean, they could target the gold lane. Sunshine's actually been a complete menace. I do like the Valentina ban, though. I mean, that could be that they're going to be picking some heroes that they just don't want the mid lane to be stolen. I mean, Nana still available. So yeah. You have some good picks. You have Vexana. Like RRQ still has a lot of loaded picks available.
They also need to ban on the side of RRQ. On the side of Fireflux, we still need a jungler. We still need a gold lane. So RQ going to kind of hammer into the gold lane since they've already picked up Claude. We take out the Brody. I mean, we take out the Bruno. Maybe we take out the Ixia, something like that. Maybe we, I mean, the, what else? The Clint's become kind of popular. I think it's been more of just RQ picking it up a little bit in the past, or AP Bren has actually picked it up as well. That's another gold lane pick that is kind of sky rocketed in. There goes the Vexana ban. So this leaves RQ with just, I mean, there goes the Nolan ban. Fireflux will get first pick here, though, right? And both teams still need a jungler. Does Fireflux finally commit and go for the Joy here?
I mean, to be honest, that would be a good hero to be able to catch the Claude. They need something that can definitely pierce the back line, because you're gonna be dealing with that Claude quite a bit, and depending on what mage is picked up here, which Fairmiss is still technically open. So if they opted to go Fairmiss, RQ would just be a tanky comp. And I mean, it would scale really well with the Claude and the Benedetta. So I mean, there's still, again, Nana definitely has one of the highest win rates, so that could still be picked on the field. The Fredrin being picked up, it's good. I mean, they need a little bit of a heavier front line, I would say. The Ruby, you got the Ruby and the Fred, but these next picks I think are going to be pretty crucial for Fireflux.
I mean, overall, Fireflux, you know, pretty simple. A little bit of a front to back, not too divey overall. RQ gonna pick up the Basha here, keeping things simple, not risking too much. I feel like both teams just taking a pretty safe approach to it all. And there's the Aurora pick. I think a lot of us expected to see more Aurora this tournament. She did take some slight changes, you know, from where we saw her before into the tournament and everything. So I think I was kind of surprised when we didn't see as much of her, but she still has been viable. She still has made some crazy plays in the playoffs. So in the hands of Octa, excited to see how it goes.
I knew the carry was about to come next. Just they have a tanky setup here with the Bashia pick into the jungle, the carry into the backline. You got 2 backline heroes, solid backline peel, and then a good frontal defense. So we'll see. RQ against Fireflux. This is going to be an interesting match. I still personally, even with the Boxy and the Aurora pick, even though I think I would rather have seen like a Fairmiss or something like that, but I guess they're going a little bit more aggressive. So I still like RQ's comp. I do think Fireflux could fight back here, though.
All right. Let's get it started, because we are about to jump into the land of Dawn for the 3rd place match, the first game of the last day of Game of Future. This is going to be RRQ Rex Regum Kaon up against Fire Flux Esports. I'm excited to see how this goes. Lay us down, G. What do you think the win cons are? Who do you think's got the early game? Because we got plenty of time to talk with a quick pause.
I was about to say, I think a win condition here is pause. No. So, I mean, kind of diving into their comps here, right? Like, we have the Basha versus a Fredrin. Again, the Fredrin and the Ruby are more on that healing, the sustain heroes. They're looking to stay alive and just control as much as possible. And I feel like that's where the Basha scales it, right? Being able to roam fast, being able to have that built-in anti-heal really early, I think would be key, especially dealing with a Ruby. So I think that's the win condition for RRQ, is to just kind of keep them at bay, utilize the speed that you have in the jungle, and take control of the map and secure neutral objectives. For the side of Fire Flux, though, I feel like they're really going to be the team that tries to bait RRQ out. They want to bait as much utility as they possibly can to then be able to engage. They did pick up the carry, so that's more of a late game marksman. So I would say that we'll see Fire Flux do a little rough in the early stage. Once into the mid to late stage, I think if Fire Flux is, they're aiming for that part to then turn it around on them. And I feel like that's how Fire Flux is going to win there. What do you have any different takes?
I mean, I'm thinking something similar. I want to take a quick look back at the draft real quick. Let me pull it up real quick. I do think, I mean, so they pick up the carry as their last pick for Fire Flux. Definitely something that needs to scale. But RQ kind of along the same lines with the Claude, the Aurora, heavy CC on the side of RQ as well. The main thing that RQ is going to have to worry about when we get into a little bit in the later game is dealing with the Novaria, right? Dealing with that long range. They do have the Basha, and they also have the Benedetta. So yeah, they have some answers to that. I feel like RQ has a few more answers than what Fire Flux exactly does. The only real diver that Fire Flux has is CC, who can dive but doesn't really cause that, like, the damage is there, but it's not something like a Lapu or a Terizla that kind of causes CC and locks down the back line. It just kind of harasses the back line. Yes, the damage can very well be there and get the kills in, but Fire Flux is still kind of lacking a way to shut down the Claude or shut down the Aurora. They're really kind of looking for the opportunity. It's more of just like a roll over you comp. We're going to come at you head on, and we're going to just try to kind of steamroll you down.
I can see it. I also think that it'll come down to severe tactics, right? From the side of Fire Flux, their positioning's going to have to be like on point. They're going to have to utilize probably again, they don't want to get steamrolled too early, so probably a little bit passive in the early stage, because Fredrin's not going to jungle as fast as Basha, right? So I feel like that'd be the key, is to watch out for that, and then just positioning. Overall, how fast the EXP can rotate and help, I feel like will be a benefit for Fire Flux. That's what the CC is capable of doing. But so does Banana, right? Like the Benedetta is just insane at movement, and there's already quite the game happening here in the middle.
All right, I'm excited for it. Finally jumping into game number one. Luckily, the pause wasn't too long. Now, you mentioned EXP laners, and I want to touch on that because I do believe that the way that whoever kind of ends up winning out, I think, in this EXP lane is going to be huge for each team. Both of these EXP laners have the ability to rotate pretty quickly. Both of these EXP laners, I think, are going to be crucial in the fights. But look at the Frozen already on to Apex 47. RQ already showing some heavy aggression, kind of taking control of the river, but Banana taking some damage as well. This is not your typical bulky EXP laners. They are definitely going at it. We
are having some technical difficulties in game here. Again, just kind of going back onto the EXP spot, I do like what's kind of going down there. You can tell that each side has that poke and that peel, and I think it'd be just outmatching that, right? If CC can keep the Benedetta at bay and not allow her to rotate, I feel like that'd be a win for RQ, right? But if she's able to win the lane and be able to rotate, then that's a huge win for Fireflux. So we'll see how it goes out there. Now, a Claude against the carry, if I'm not mistaken, like a Claude definitely is going to be shining against the carry in the lane. So I feel like it's going to be a little bit harder for the carry in the early stage. It's going to definitely rely on the minnow to roam a little bit, but the minnow also has that sustainability, which is what I think is going to be, again, both sides have the sustainability, but more RQ has that, they can initiate the sustainability versus the other team just has it passively depending on hitting minions and heroes. So I think it'll come down to key plays by the minnow as well.
I think one of the things that RQ Hoshi does have going for them here is they do have a lot of mobility, right? You mentioned it with the Basha. He's gonna be able to move around, clears camps quick. You also have the Claude, who's known for being able to jump around, BMI in and out of the fight, make quick moves, gets a speed boost with passive and everything. And they also have the Benedetta. So it's just a fast-moving, aggressive composition. You add that, you layer that up with the CC supplied from the Aurora, the CC supplied from the Minotaur, and it is definitely deadly. Fireflux, I see them a bit more just kind of grouping up, wanting RQ Hoshi to come to them, using the Ruby as kind of the stopping point, the thing to kind of slow down RQ and all of their movements. And if they can pull that off, I think if Fireflux can kind of stick in the game here, they do have some very good scaling here. They're just going to need to be careful of those big CC plays, of those big plays coming from the Minotaur and the Aurora, because if they are too grouped up and they get hit by something like that, it is going to be bad when it's paired up with something like the Blazing Duet.
Yeah, and I think ultimately that's why RQ went with more of the Basha, was just because it has that mobility and can avoid the Ruby. But we're going to be getting back into the game for a second time here. Well, let's get it, Trex. Let's see what actually goes down. Kind of wanted to know what was really causing some issues there, but hey. Ooh, TNZ hitting him with the the fade, man.
The glacier.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh man, that bro.
He is.
Aurora, the CC from Aurora is honestly insane. This is one of the reasons why I expected to see a bit more of her. With the way that the meta is right now and how reliant so many comps are on heavy CC, you're having 3, sometimes 4 heroes that all have some sort of lockdown, all have some sort of freeze, all have some sort of immobility. It's just huge, and she plays very well to it. Nice knockup coming from Brusco. Gonna try to lock onto Tianzi. Tianzi takes a lot of damage from the Electro final blow. And Banana able to get the kill. Alien still in the midst of things. Rosa coming in as well, but Irad able to take the first turtle of this game. Octa goes down though. Rosa able to pick up the kill. Irad now moving on to the next, but Alien finds another one. Brusco goes down, so it's a 2 for 2. Turtle over to the side of RQ though.
That was probably the most dramatic death I've ever seen in Alien. Kinda in a little trouble. Do we see Banana? I don't think the Banana doesn't have an ultimate, but they're still coming out at him. What is this aggression?
Arad gets pulled back with the offended, taking a lot of damage. Alien gonna be able to pick up the kill. Apex 47 may go down for this. Uses a little bit of bush work. Alien taking a bit of damage as well. They're duking it out already. Alien able to get back onto the tower to safety with a hop and a skip. I like it. It's 3-3. Gold at a standstill.
The style play is coming from Alien right there. Definitely great to see. 3-3. Both teams are at it. Banana, though, overstaying their welcome a bit. Able to get out of there with the ultimate, though. Again, this is huge. I mean, for both sides of the team, they're not letting up. This is something we see occasionally, that both teams just want aggression early on. And again, this is what you were saying earlier. This is, I feel like, going to stop the steamroll from both sides. Is you just got to keep them at bay. But TNZ want to fight.
I mean, they're definitely going at it. We're 3-3 right now, about 4 minutes in. Next turtle going to be up in 30 seconds. Now, Banana and Alien both have not taken a death yet. They're both doing great in their respective EXP lane. And I think Oh my god, the damage from both of them. I love this meta of EXP laners right now. It's not your old school, bulky, never-ending fight. These guys are moving and they are aggressive. A little bit of action up in the top side as well. A nice meteor connects onto Skylar. They get brought down to about half health. Tienzi gonna take a glacier to the face. Frozen up there. Both teams deciding to disengage.
At this point, I feel like RQ might want to do something against Alien. They're definitely a back and forth battle happening down in the EXP lane, but if they're able to scale with the CC, it could be a little bit of a problem for Octa and even possibly Skylar. So we'll see first turtle, well, the second turtle happening right now. We'll have to see. I mean, Banana is ready. Look at holding the mid bush here to possibly catch CC on the rotate, but Alien reads it very well. Who's going to get that engage here, Trex?
Banana has the Petrify ready to go. I'm excited to see Banana try to make the play into the backside. Alien able to zone away Brusco here. The damage is already starting to connect up. Apex 47 comes in, but a nice Minoan Fury on 3 members, locked up by the Glacier as well, comboed, and down comes the Appraisal's Rat. Tienzi able to pick up a kill, but Arad in trouble here, gonna get taken out as well. 2 for 1, Apex 47 goes down, Turtle still on the map of Tienzi's, and that spot Banana might try to engage onto this, but Rose is there to back him up. Banana might have to back off. Alien now rotating up as well. Rosa with the Meteor, looking for the next target. Gonna move back with Tienzi though.
I mean, both teams are being very patient here. Like each team are they're just taking as much as they possibly can. The turtle doesn't go to anybody, which is wild. And not only that, they rotated EXP and gold lane at the 5-minute mark, but
ooh, nice time offended. Followed up by the Meteor, a lot of damage on Octa. The passive does proc. Octa, though, gonna go down. Able to get a quick freeze onto Apex 47 to buy Brusco. A little bit of time there. But still, Fire Flux taking the lead here.
Banana trying to get
out, hanging out. Waiting for a backline rush there. And that's where, you know, I feel like Alien's going to do great against the front line of RQ Hoshi, to whereas Banana's going to do amazing to the back line of Fire Flux. And which one's going to be more important? Oh, a lot of trouble for Rosa. Banana looking for the final hit, able to find it now, taking a lot of damage from the Blazing Duet. Skylar comes in as well. Up at the Turtle, though, Alien able to take out Brusco. Turtle did go to the side of Fire Flux. Arad finds Tienzi, though, but now Arad in a little bit of trouble. Alien on the chase. Should be able to catch up, but no, getting burned and slowed. Arad able to get away.
Banana 402, just absolutely decimating Fire Flux's backline. I think paired with Skylar there, they knew that they could rely on their team to just kind of take it at the turtle, right? And then they did it, right? And kind of taking a look at some of the items. The biggest thing that we are seeing is Skylar has that Demon Hunter sword picked up, right? So that's going to be a devastating pick for the side of Fire Flux, just because they are a bit tanky. Apex might not be able to play as aggressive as they were. This is getting into the early mid game, and I think we're going to see some crazy plays coming up soon.
I mean, it's 7-7. Gold is still at pretty much an even. It is starting to tip a bit more into the hands of Fire Flux to about 2,000. It's kind of bouncing between 1 and 2,000, but still, that is nothing huge. Fire Flux does take the first tower of the game on the top side. RQ Hoshi, they are going to have a decent spike, and you're right about Banana. He's still 4-0-2, and I'm excited to see how it's going to move forward the more he's able to kind of participate in these big skirmishes. Fire Flux already grouping up. Here comes the concealed play. Looking for a target here. They do have the vision onto Skylar here. Apex 47 trying to find one, but Skylar able to get away.
That was a good zone by Brusco there. Again, right now, Fire Flux really has to protect their backline, right? Because Rosa's been caught twice already by Banana, which is huge for the side of RRQ. So I think they have to maybe play a little bit more together, which I think at this point they're getting there, right? Being the first Lord, I feel like this fight's going to be about a 50-50, but again, it could be anybody's game as Fire Flux has the damage. Like, look at Navaria, even though it's 1-2, Rosa still doing
look at Banana. Look at Banana. Good Banana, hiding in the top bush, looking for the back line flank again. Finally does show face. I don't know if Alien was able to see him there. I think so. Gonna check those bushes, make sure it's safe for the rest of the team. But Banana's not leaving that lane, and Fireflux is gonna have to be careful about it. Brusco, though, gonna get him offended in. Chip down from Alien, will go down. Alien able to pick up the kill, but the Lord falls, and Rad is able to take it. A beautiful steal. Banana trying to get out of town quick with the Electro final blow as the rest of Fireflux collapses on top of Arad. Arad in between three members, going to do as much as he can. While this is happening, you're right, Skylar taking a tower in the boss side, RRQ macroing up the map.
Macroing it up and taking the Lord, which is huge. Octa in a little bit of trouble. Apex on the hunt. I don't think Skylar
Octa stays catching those meteors. Rosa is just target locked onto Octa right now. I think the past 3 or 4 meteors Rosa has thrown out in a team fight have landed directly onto Octa.
Yeah, and again, Rosa's done this before with the Navaria, so the aim is just amazing, and the prediction from Fireflux at this point, they're going to do whatever they possibly can to keep this mid turret, which is, I think, going to be key, right? Because that's the one thing that's going to keep them apart from each other. They are winning in team fights, so they just need to secure neutral objectives. Are looking to scale at this point. They need to take as much as they possibly can. If they can get a pick here, they might be able to clean up all tier 1 towers and maybe take a couple tier 2.
And here's the thing, even with Fireflux losing out on some of these neutral objectives, they have still kept the gold lead for a while. They're finally falling behind by 100 gold, but still that is not a lot. And both the XP laners are going to be a huge threat to the other team. We have 4-0 and 5 on Alien. We have 4-0 and 2 on Banana. Taking a look at the gold laner, Skylar, though, still has not taken a single death, the opposite of Sunshine, who has. That is also going to start to become a major play in this. The more Skylar can just farm up and be comfortable on his signature hero Claude, it's definitely going to become an issue.
They're reading it so well. Fireflux is so good at controlling and zoning the map out. Like that is what I love to see from teams. Like it's like an octagon. If you just constantly keep phasing out parts of the Land of the Dawn and the river, you'll understand kind of where someone is at. And Fireflux is doing so good at reading the map and understanding where Banana's at. Because we can tell, I mean, Banana loves the patient plays to wait for the flank. And I love that Fireflux is now responding to what Banana is bringing to them.
Yeah, but they're going to have to start responding to the map control from RQ Hoshi as well. Yes, Fireflux does great in kind of controlling the fights, but I feel like when it comes to overall macro, RQ is definitely chewing up these turrets right now, has taken everything on both off lanes, but Fireflux has done well at defending that mid lane, and as long as they do that, it will kind of keep RQ's rotations in check a bit. There's still this bottleneck that both teams have to move through if they want to get to the other side of the map. Lord gonna be up now. Fireflux take control of the pit up first.
Yeah, and I feel like that's their ideal goal, right? If they're not able to win in team fights into the early right now, let Fireflux do that, right? We'll take other things. Like, you can have a couple kills. It's not going to really win the game.
Sunshine,
we got the eyes on the prize.
In the bot side, Sunshine and Apex. Sunshine pokes face. Banana's like, no. I know you got someone else with you, man. We're not going to go for that one, but Rosa is able to get vision on the team. Arad and Tienzi once again at it. Can Arad cop the steal again? Cop the feel again on this Lord.
Oh, God.
Fireflux. All 5 members here now. Banana finally rotating up, but the Lord is low. Might be too late to the party, and the Lord goes down to Rad, able to take it. Brusco now looking for a set. The Glacier comes down, and Apex 40 falls with it. Fireflux on the run this time. RQ got what they came for. They take control of the Lord, and they take control of the map.
They do, and they want to take more as well. They're still showing such great aggression. I'm so surprised that Fireflux wants to take the 50-50s on the Lord. I mean, this is the second time they've lost it, so let's see what they can do. Again, they held really well on the first Lord. Can they hold really well on the second Lord as RQ is barreling down the mid and the left lane?
Ooh. Arad is just vicious with these red trees right now. Takes the purple away from Fireflux. Takes the Lord. His timing is impeccable right now. Apex 47 is coming out with a conceal play to get a slightly different position. The Glacier comes down. Nobody going to get stunned up from it. The Lord finally makes the crash. Fireflux loses their first inhibitor of the game. RQ claims that they're going to move on to the mid side now, take that tier 2 as well. They are picking Fireflux apart down to the bones.
They are. They're playing them textbook at this point, and we can already see, man, Skylar with the aggression here. RQ, right? They're doing really well. They're scaling a lot. Skylar, 11, almost 12K gold. Are they going to attempt to go for it?
Damage from Skylar there. We haven't even seen Skylar get super involved yet. That's the big kicker here. He's just been farming and farming. And RQ has still been able to handle these fights very well. We haven't even seen like an insane backline blazing duet or anything yet. He's just been kind of chipping away, and now he is going to come in. Brusco there with an Owen's Fury, able to get a big knockup. Octa finds the kill. Apex 47 now on the run. Alien holds down the front side, but RQ took down one, and that's all they needed to advance this fight. Skylar going to move on to the orange buff, just patrolling the jungle right now, looking for angles, looking for flanks, and that's how RQ has continuously won these team fights.
Definitely a huge play there by RQ. The patience behind Brusco there just to give vision, and then the combo with Skylar, they couldn't even survive. Again, it's a little risky to take, but not devastating, right? I mean, you got 30 seconds till the next Lord, so everybody will be available. I just think it's one of those things that you're able to kind of feel out how RQ has control over the map, and you can see they're keeping them at bay. Skylar has a full set Malefic Roar, and the attack speed is definitely picked up. If they can shut down Alien on Fireflux, I think that's kind of their... If they do that, then I think it's GG's, but you never know.
All right, let's see, though. Fireflux, we've seen them put their big boy pants on in crucial Lord fights. You know, you mentioned earlier that maybe they shouldn't go for the 50-50. Maybe they should try to take a fight before the Lord pit. Brad already knows that's what they want, and now they're going to move on to Apex 47. Arad takes a quick turn. Brusco unable to land the Minoan's Fury. Fireflux baits that out, and they still all got their ultimates. Yes, there is a backdoor possibility from Banana, but it seems that Fireflux smells something in the water. They're going to send Sunshine back to help define the lane. Alien able to take down Brusco. It's now 5v4. Does Fireflux want to commit? They have to send back Sunshine, but Tanzi finally takes it, and Irad going to probably fall here. Goes down Alien, picking up the kill. RQ Hoshi now falling behind, and this is what I meant, Fireflux. When the time comes down to it, they know how to take the fight to their enemies.
They do. And see, this is what I like, right? I said in the very beginning of the game that Fireflux really needed to bait out utility from RQ, but Alien, the damage getting put down.
Skylar chasing him down.
Greedy.
Uh-oh. Sunshine Apex like, no. You better back up. But still, the damage, Skylar's going to be probably one of the only people that can really just like 1v1 Alien right now, which is insane because Alien is bursting down most of RQ, well, shredding down most of RQ. But the damage from Skylar right now could be getting out of control.
Yeah, I feel like RQ is going to be able to defend this Lord probably with no problem. I mean, they have a lot of their tier 3 still. But we'll see if Fireflux wants to fully engage here.
And they got to watch out for the offended. Lord is able to encroach onto the base. Skylar's finally showed up. We'll be able to chip it down. Fireflux not going to overextend. And keep our eyes on Banana because he is everywhere. Disrupting waves, slowing down the pushes from Fireflux. He's doing his job very well.
They are trying to find
Banana. We're checking every bush. They're kicking doors. Open up, FBI!
They were like, where is Banana? I'm tired of this. But again, I mean, that play by Banana forced Fireflux to then give up control of the frontal of RQ. Now, the biggest thing I was kind of saying is that Fireflux needs to continue to bait these utilities out, but they have to be on their toes here though, because we've constantly seen Banana almost attempt to backdoor, though the Lord is on the right-hand side this time around. we are seeing that the backdoor potential is a little bit harder, but that could be a possibility for RRQ at this point. Fireflux, just keep baiting out utilities. Do not take a 50-50 Lord unless you really have control over that map.
I mean, with the Lord being on the bot side here, in the long lane being in advantage of Fireflux, it does kind of help them, right? RQ is going to have to be a bit more stressed about getting up to that top lane and clean those waves. Luckily, they do have Banana, who's been extremely mobile, extremely proactive, but it's definitely something we got to keep our eyes on. As long as Fireflux kind of lets that lane stay pushed on RQ side, it's going to be very helpful for them when it comes down to these Lord fights.
Exactly. I feel like it's key that RRQ has such great ability, but I do also think they need to execute it, especially, you know, maybe try to reset the Lord a couple times or try to get it out of Fireflux's hands. And I think that's where they're struggling at this point, is that they're all about the split push, and they really haven't had a full engage at a Lord. And maybe if they had a full engage at the Lord, RRQ could be on the winning side here. But Fireflux kind of has them pressed back against the wall.
Fireflux, you know, in past international events, Wolf coined the meta for Fireflux. He calls it the Turkish delight. You know, you got the Ube strat coming from Blacklist, and we have the Turkish delight from Fireflux. And I always like to kind of call, like, it's very layered. The way that they take these fights is very layered sometimes. They're very good at meshing everybody's ultimates together. Now Alien going to come in onto a rat. Oh, Apex this time going to blow his ult a little bit too early, but still, look at the damage. Oh, into the back line, the Petrify. Banana able to find Rosa. Sunshine goes down as well. Brusco is the only one falling on the side of RQ, and now RQ is collapsing. Claude goes for the split push, and that was all without him. Skylar now going to get involved into this fight. He still has the Blazing Duet, but doesn't even need to use it. Apex 47 is going nowhere. RRQ Hoshi decimate Fireflux in that fight. They've still got Tienzi and Alien. RQ say, no, we don't want no Lord. We're going to go for the game here. We're going to go for the finish. They're going to collapse down in the boss side. Skylar able to use the Blazing Duet, clear up all of these minions, and look at the damage onto Alien. Alien still trying to survive. Skylar repositions. The Glacier comes down. Alien not getting away from that one. Tienzi is going to be next on the chopping block. The Electro final blow to final blow him out. And now Fireflux will go down. RQ Hoshi taking game number 1.
Game number 1. What a play. That was insane. From the, oh my God, my throat. From RQ, they definitely destroyed it there. And that was kind of the backdoor. It was an attempt at a backdoor that really forced them out of their comfort zone from controlling the Lord. So a really great play by RQ.
Really great play. I mean, and that was just Banana. Banana. You're really giving coin to his name, you know? We call him, like, Banana, a.k.a. Banana Split. This guy is consistently splitting the map, consistently splitting up the team, consistently making work, and just always on the back line, always on the opposite side. Even in all these fights, you never know where he's coming from.
Yeah, and I feel like RRQ really needed that response against Rosa. Once they took down Rosa, the team comp kind of fell apart. They didn't have that poke. They didn't have that peel. They also lost vision at that point, and I think that's what Rosa was really giving to Fireflux. And you can kind of just see just Bananas just everywhere. The Benedetta in the hands of Banana just makes you slip up and makes you lose focus on what's going down, and then RRQ just able to take advantage of that slip up.
Yeah, I mean, just did an overall amazing job. And just a good game from both teams, back and forth throughout it all. But in the end, RQ, I think where they really won was just in the overall macro and map control and their positioning on the map in general. Fireflux took the more simple approach of keeping their team grouped together at a time, kind of keeping everyone in the same positions, and RQ took advantage of that. Banana took advantage of that. And with having Rosa, who wants to get vision on the whole team, but normally always sending it at where the group is, as long as Banana was able to stay out of that Astral Echo, they're all good. They always have someone who can get to the back line, and that's exactly how RQ was able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and I mean, we could really say that Fireflux just had complete control over the map, and that's just one utility that RRQ was able to utilize was just their mobility. And I think their mobility was the key victory here, and they utilized it to the fullest. And then RRQ able to take the win there. My God.
Look at the robots in the stadium right now. They're hyped too, just like the rest of us. Let's take a look at the MVP. Who would have guessed it? RQ Hoshi Banana, 6-0-4, 23% damage, nothing too major. I think the real takeaway on this was just his positioning on the map, making the game-changing plays. He's gonna strike fear into Fireflux coming into game 2. If he gets something like the Benedetta again, they're gonna have to find an answer to it.
Yeah, definitely. And again, the carry pick has just not been shining recently, right? Even though that Sunshine was able to pick it up, it just I didn't feel like it played a crucial role. And I think that again, Banana just kind of upsetting Fireflux's team comp. All of the squishies in the back line, Banana was like, "Yep, that's me. I'm there." And RQ just did a fantastic job. And then you got to give it up to Skylar too, right? Like, we didn't see him in too many fights. He was just constantly farming, constantly applying split pressure alongside Banana, and it takes them to a 1-0 against Fireflux.
But here's the thing too, is because Skylar was able to scale like that, Alien eventually was not a threat to him. The one hero on the side of Fireflux who was meant to kind of dive into the back line, they were unable to deal with it. And maybe the reality is that they were targeting the wrong person all along. Maybe Skylar wasn't the real issue. Maybe the real issue was Banana. Now, we do have a player versus player stats here. Skylar up against Rosa, the Thorn Queen, some like to call him. 2-1 kills, both players doing well, but in the end, RQ comes out on top. Now, I think it was an amazing game, G. We're going to be jumping to a video very soon. Any final words about the game?